If it's Friday night, say yeah, for it's another edition of Strictly Sports NFL Friday. Hello, friends. Anthony Flair here with you, joined by Michael Bullock. And I don't think Girl MF Michael Fletcher will be joining us this evening. But if he is to come in at some point during this, we'll catch him up on what he missed. If not, we'll see him next time. But before we start, I do want to take a moment to apologize to all of you fans for what happened last night during College Football Thursday. Um, Connection dropped and, well, stayed that way for several hours. Um, but it was right around 5:30, 6 o'clock this evening that I got it back. So, yeah, so hopefully we can get through it this time. And hopefully there'll be no interruptions this time. So, let's pray for that. So, but anyways, I posted the the rest of the scores, my predictions on my Facebook page. Just check them out if you have a moment. Bullock and MF, maybe feel free to respond to that. But yeah, things happen, and hopefully we can get through it tonight with no problems. So all right, so NFL Friday here and now, week 10 already. My word, it's crazy, crazy how this has been flying by so quick. But yeah, last night we had, for the first time in a long time, we had an intriguing matchup on Thursday Night Football with the Carolina Panthers against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And while it was not the Shakespearean drama classic that I kind of thought it would be, but the Pittsburgh Steelers, man, oof, you want to talk about a statement win? Wow, 52-21 over the Carolina Panthers, and man, they made them look like a dud enhancement team. That's all I can say. So, all right, so let's move to the rest of our slate. Of course, four teams on bye this week: the Baltimore Ravens, the Denver Broncos, the Houston Texans, and the Minnesota Vikings. All are on bye this week. So let's get that elephant in the room out of the way. So with all that, let's dive into our first matchup of the week. And it is a matchup of the Detroit Lions squaring off against the Chicago Bears from Soldier Field in Chicago. This game will be over on, I believe, Fox, and yeah, it's on Fox, and it's going to be Chris Myers with Daryl Moose Johnston and Laura Oakman on the call. The spread favors the Bears by 7 to 7.5. I believe they met earlier this season. I don't quite remember if they did or not, but I'm gonna have to look into that in a minute. But just bear with me for a moment. I just want to check the history here. Um, okay, so no, they did not meet. All right, so this is their first meeting this season. Okay, I just wanted to be sure on that. So, all right, so series history favors the Chicago Bears 97-74 with 5 ties. And believe it or not, the Lions have actually won 3 in a row in this series, which meant the Lions swept both meetings last year, including in Chicago, 27-24. Bears last beat the Lions at home the year before, 2016. That was 17-14, the final there. So, all right. So without further ado, let's get into this first matchup. The Lions' offensive line gave up 10 sacks last week and allowed 17 quarterback hits. The Bears' defense might be just as good in the front seven as Minnesota, and coordinator Vic Fangio has figured out how to create mismatches and force some big problems. Then Chicago's offense, which relies on the diverse running styles of Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen, aligns with what has caused the Lions problems all season long. This doesn't look like a good matchup for Detroit on paper, and it won't be one on the field either. Chicago ranks near the top of most defensive statistical categories, including takeaways, 21, second most. The Bears' offense can be contained, but the defense is likely to cause Detroit all sorts of problems, especially with Khalil Mack expected to return. Chicago's 75.6% favorite. They enter Week 10 ranked number one in defensive efficiency by a large margin. According to FPI, they are at 75.2 on a 0 to 100 scale. No other team is even at 70. The Bears also lead the league in opponent total QBR at 46.3, with the next closest team, the Broncos, at 52. So I'm gonna go with the Chicago Bears to win this one. I'm gonna say final score. I'll go 24-16, Chicago over Detroit. Keep their winning ways going. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, come on in. Um, I smell another win for the Bears, especially after what they did to my team last week. Made them look like a done enhancement team.
Yeah, and what can you say about this Bears team? I mean, they continue to impress. I mean, yeah, they put the whooping on your Buffalo Bills, but yeah, I mean but I expect this one to be close, like you said, Florio. So I'm gonna go with the Chicago Bears to win this one as well. I'm going to say my final score will be. I'm actually going to say 24-17. Chicago will beat Detroit. Keep it keep it going and have them so go to 6-3. So nothing more to say. Let's just move right along, Florio.
Oh, I forgot to unmute my mic. Okay. Yeah, you can keep your mic on, Bullock, because we're going to be getting into our next matchup. And oh boy, is this going to be a good one. I'm going to go as far as to call this the game of the week for the Fox side of the ledger. Heck, you could call it the game of the week, period, if you want, because this is going to be a great, great matchup here. The New Orleans Saints squaring off against the Cincinnati Bengals at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. This one's on Fox. Kevin Burkhardt, Charles Davis, and Pam Oliver on the call. New Orleans opening up as 5.5 to 6 point favorites. Cincinnati leads the all-time series 7-6. Their last meeting was 2014 in New Orleans. The Bengals came away with the win 27-10. Last meeting in Cincinnati was in 2010, and the Saints came away with a 34-30 win. 5-star classic in that one. Bengals' last home win against the Saints was back in 2002. That was a 20-13 final. So, all right, Bullock. Saints coming off that big win over the LA Rams last week, handing the Rams their first loss in a very high scoring game like we expected it to be. There, I think we have a new number one when it comes to the power rankings. Wink, wink. So, Saints Bengals game of the week as far as I'm concerned. What do you think?
Yeah, you can definitely say it's right up there as game of the week. I mean, yeah, I mean the Saints. What can you say? I mean they put up 45 against a very good Rams team, especially on the defensive side. And I mean, the offense definitely came around, especially Drew Brees and well, Michael Thomas was to me the star of the game. I mean, over 200 yards receiving in the game, 211 to be exact, and that and on the running game, I mean, Alvin Kamara. I mean, what a game he had! He had over 100 yards from scrimmage, and the defense came up with some big plays when they definitely needed it. So yeah, I mean this yeah now they got to go up against the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean yeah, I mean I basically expect this winning streak to continue. I got the New Orleans Saints to win this one. I'm gonna say my final score is gonna be I'm gonna say 38 to 24 is gonna be my final score, and of course the big story, of course, out of it. I mean, of course the signing of Dez Bryant, but man, oh man, I mean, just as they got him, now they get some news that he hurts. Well, the Saints basically fear that he could have a torn Achilles tendon, and if that's the case, I mean, they'll already signal he's done for the year. I mean, man, I feel bad for the guy. I mean, he just gets signed, and then boom, he gets hurt. So I don't expect this to change anything about the Saints offense. So, like I said, I got the Saints winning. So, Florio, it is yours.
Yeah. This this has all the makings of a trap game or an emotional letdown for the Saints after three consecutive intense matchups. This will actually be the first 1 o'clock Sunday game for New Orleans since week 3, and it's outdoors in chilly weather against an unfamiliar opponent that can put up points. Nevertheless, it's impossible to pick against the Saints right now, with that offense so locked in and Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, and Alvin Kamara putting up a triplet season for the ages. According to ESPN stats and information data, the Saints have scored on 58% of their drives this season, which would be the highest rate for a team in 15 years. This is not a good matchup for the Bengals, who will be without Vontaze Burfict, AJ Green, Darquez Denard, and Nick Vigil. Having two starting linebackers out doesn't bode well for a defense that has badly struggled the past few games, especially when it comes to stopping the run. Now the unit has to stop Kamara and Brees. The Bengals need their offense to keep pace with the Saints, who have no problem scoring quickly. While the New Orleans secondary is exploitable, it's going to be tough to do that without Green. It's possible the Saints have a letdown after a big game against the Rams, but it's hard to imagine their offense won't be able to score at will against the Bengals. New Orleans is a slight favorite, 52.8%. Drew Brees enters the league with an 84.5 total QBR, second in the league behind Patrick Mahomes at 85.1, against the Bengal defense ranked fifth worst in opponent total QBR, 63.5 this season. He could very well improve upon that. I'm going to go with the same score as you, Bullock. I'm going to go 38-24, New Orleans over Cincinnati. So, nonetheless, I'm expecting a fun one on Sunday, and I'm glad to say that it's gonna be on our Fox affiliate, Fox Providence. So, very happy about that because I really want to see that matchup. Moving on to our next matchup, we have the Atlanta Falcons squaring off against the Cleveland Browns at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, the Dog Pound. Now, this one will be over on Fox, and we got Kenny Albert with Rondé Barber and Sarah Walsh on the call. Atlanta opening up as a 6 to 7 point favorite. Cleveland leads the all-time series 11-3. Their last meeting was 2014 at the old Georgia Dome in Atlanta, and the Cleveland Browns actually stole that one, 26-24. Last meeting in Cleveland was 2010. Falcons won that one 20-10. Browns' last home win over the Falcons was in 2002. That was a 24-16 final. So the Falcons are rolling at the right time with 3 consecutive victories, and Matt Ryan, who has 19 touchdowns and just 3 interceptions, is playing at an MVP level. As long as the Falcons don't fall victim to the Browns' tendency to create turnovers, league high 23 takeaways, they should score often. The Falcons have converted 69.2% of their opportunities in the red zone, which ranks 7th best in the league. Browns go from a potent Kansas City offense to a potent Falcon offense that has more weapons than the Chiefs, at least according to safety Demarius Randall. Consider this game within the team's current situations. Browns are playing out a season and developing a quarterback, and they have injuries on defense. The Falcons, meanwhile, simply cannot afford to lose a game like this if they want to go to the playoffs. Atlanta, a 68.1% favorite. Since taking over as the starter in Week 4, Baker Mayfield has posted a 32.6 total QBR, ahead of only Eli Manning and Sam Darnold in that span. He'll look to improve that against the Falcon defense that ranks 4th worst in defensive efficiency, according to FPI. So I'm definitely going with the Atlanta Falcons here. 35-17 Atlanta over Cleveland. Keep their winning ways going. So nothing more to say. Bullock, I mean, Falcons started slow, but here they come. They've now won 3 in a row, including a big one in Washington last week.
Yeah, I mean, last week, I mean, here we all thought the Redskins were gonna have no problems with the with yeah with yeah. But the Falcons basically they come back and basically I mean yeah, they're still 4-4, but they're starting to look like a team that I mean that could make a run eventually, maybe get to the playoffs, and they certainly bolstered that they bolstered that defense by getting Bruce Irvin was a free agent. So we'll see what he brings to that defense. So yeah, I mean, and of course Cleveland. I mean, what can you say? I mean, it hasn't been good for them. I mean, it looked like this team was on the rise, but yeah, but they're on the downside. So yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. I got the Atlanta Falcons winning this one. 34-17 is going to be my final score. So, Florio, let's move on to the next game.
And you'll be leading it off, Bullock. We have another first-time divisional matchup for this season. First of two meetings this year between these two AFC South foes. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars squaring off against the Indianapolis Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. This one will be over on CBS. Spiro Ditas and Anna Marcelletta will have the call. And Indianapolis opening up as 2.5 to 3 point favorites. Colts lead the all-time series 22-12. However, the Jaguars won both meetings last year, including a 27-0 beatdown in Indianapolis last year. Colts last beat the Jags at home the year before, 2016. That was the 24-20 final. So, all right, Bullock. Who would have thought that the Colts would be on the rise and the Jags would be on the decline? I mean, I'll admit it. I'll eat the humble pie here. I was very high on Jacksonville coming into this season, especially after how close they came to going to the Super Bowl last year against your Patriots in that epic AFC Championship matchup. But what's going on with Jags? I mean, the Jags, they're going down, and Indy's actually been playing better. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, here we are now. I mean, and especially after what we saw in week 2 when the Jaguars beat the Patriots in that AFC Championship rematch, and it looked like maybe this was a team that could definitely finally get over that hump. But then what's been going on with them? I mean, the quarterback situation is not good. I mean, Blake Bortles has been going back to that. Blake Bortles has been average and mediocre, and yeah, with the Colts, I mean, they've been playing better as of late. So, this is a tough one here, but to me, I'm gonna go with the Jags in this one. I'm gonna say 20-17 is gonna be my final score. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing more that needs to be said. Florio, it is yours.
Yeah, very tough. Very tough to call. Expect a heavy dose of Leonard Fournette as the Jags try to return to the power run offense they couldn't produce without him. That likely means 20 plus touches for Fournette, which will slow the game down and theoretically open things up a bit for Blake Bortles. The Jaguars have rushed for at least 136 yards in 5 of the past 6 games against the Colts, including 188 in Indianapolis without Fournette last year. The biggest matchup, though, is the Jaguars' pass rush against the Colts' offensive line that hasn't given up a sack since October 4. Per ESPN Stats and Information Research, the Jaguars lead the league in quarterback pressures but have only 19 sacks to show for it. They have to get home against Andrew Luck or they'll lose their 5th in a row. The Colts enter on a 2-game winning streak, and the Jaguars are riding a 4-game skid. The Jaguars have won 4 of the past 5 meetings with their AFC South counterparts. Bortles, who was benched during their Week 7 loss to Houston, is 88 of 133, 66% for 1,147 yards, with 6 touchdowns and no interceptions in the past 4 meetings against the Colts. The last thing the Colts can afford to do is fall behind early against the Jaguars, because that will set things up for Jacksonville's pass rush, which had 10 sacks in its previous trip to Indianapolis in October of last year. Oof, this is a tough one. Indianapolis, 67.8% favorite. The Jacksonville defense has taken a step down from last season, especially as of late. Over their past 4 games since week 5, the Jaguars have allowed a 79.9 total QBR, the highest in the league in that span. Over that same span, Andrew Luck is 7th in the league with a 76.5 total QBR. Tough to call, very much so, but Gosh, this I really want to go with Jacksonville here, like Bullock did. I mean, especially with the history, but with what I have seen lately, I gotta go. I gotta call for the upset here. I gotta go with Indy. I'm gonna take a chance, and I'm gonna go with the Indianapolis Colts to win this one. Low scoring affair. I'm gonna say 17-14, Indianapolis over Jacksonville. So color you guys surprised there on that. So with all that being said, let's get into our next matchup here, and it's the cross flex. Cross flex games. Games you would normally. Well, this next game is something you would normally see on Fox, but it's going to be on CBS this time around. And this is, when it comes to the CBS side of the ledger, definitely the Zonk game of the week, without a doubt. The Arizona Cardinals squaring off against the Kansas City Chiefs, Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. CBS is going to have this contest, believe it or not. We got Greg Gumbel, Trent Green, Bruce Arians, and Melanie Collins on the call. Chiefs, biggest favorite of the week. They're opening up as 16.5 to 17-point favorites against the Cardinals. Can't say I blame them. Kansas City leads the all-time series 8-3 with a tie. The tie came back in their very first meeting in 1970. That was a 6-6 tie in Kansas City. Very first meeting in 1970. Their last meeting was 2014 in Arizona. Cardinals won that 17-14. Last meeting in Kansas City was in 2010. Chiefs pounded the Cardinals 31-13. And the Arizona Cardinals have never won in Arrowhead. Never won in Arrowhead. So let's just address that right away. So this isn't a matter of whether the Cardinals will win or lose. It's simply a matter of how much they will lose by. The Cardinals give up an average of 24.9 points a game, while the Chiefs score an average of 36.3. That's the recipe for a high-scoring game for Kansas City. Although Arizona could still put up significant points in yards, since the Chiefs have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They're ranked 31st in total yards allowed and last in rushing yards allowed a game. The Cardinals could turn in their best offensive performance of the season and still get blown out. The Chiefs are quietly playing good defense at Arrowhead Stadium. They're allowing 18.5 points a game in their 4 Arrowhead appearances, which is 5th best in the league for home teams. It's a stretch to think the offensively challenged Cardinals, who are last in the league in yards and have topped 18 points just once this season, can keep up with the high-scoring Chiefs, and that's particularly true when it's played in Kansas City. Kansas City, the biggest favorite of the week, 93.8%. The Chiefs are 94% favorites according to FPI, the biggest favorite in any game this season. The last time a team was favored by this much, according to the FPI, was the Broncos over the Jaguars in Week 6 of 2013. 34-16 is my final score. 34-16, Kansas City, all over Arizona. Nothing more to say. Bullock, I mean, I smell an easy one for the Chiefs at Arrowhead. Bullock, you mic?
Oh yeah, I'm here. Yeah,
Arizona and Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make it short and sweet. I got Kansas City. They're gonna run rush shot all over the Arizona Cardinals. So let's just move right along to the next game.
And that next matchup is it's and I do believe this is another first time meeting this season. I don't recall these teams having met before this season. My Buffalo Bills squaring off against the New York Jets at MetLife Stadium in the Meadowlands. This one will be over on CBS. We have Andrew Catalan and James Lofton on the call, and spread favors the Jets by 7 to 7.5. Buffalo, however, leads the all-time series 60-54. And both teams split last year, both teams winning at home. So the Jets won in the Meadowlands last year, 34-21. And The Bills have not beaten the Jets in the Meadowlands since 2015. That was a 22-17 final. So the Jets have won the last two meetings in New York. So, oh, Bullock. I mean, hard times for my Buffalo Bills. So hard that Buffalo Bills fans have had the nerve and the gall to start a GoFundMe page because they want Nathan Peterman to retire. If that's not hard times, tell me what is.
Yeah, it's definitely hard times for both squads. Especially the Bills. I mean, what is going on with them? I mean, last year was a year fans will never forget, especially with them making the playoffs and then this. So, yeah, to me, I'm going to go with the Jets to win this one. My final score is going to be 23 to 17 is going to be my final score. So, nothing more to say, Florida. What's yours?
Yeah. Let me see. Just want to make sure. Okay, here we go. The last time Josh McCown started against the Bills at MetLife Stadium, a 34-21 Jets victory last November, his total QBR, 85.5, was the fifth highest of his 95-game career. McCown did not throw a pick six all of last season, whereas Bills quarterbacks have thrown as many this season, 3, as they have touchdown passes. The Jets go from Brock Osweiler to Nathan Peterman, maybe, who produces more turnovers than Pillsbury. If the defense can't end its 3-game takeaway drought, something is seriously wrong. McCown hasn't played a regular season game in 337 days, but his mind and savviness will overcome the rust and carry the Jets to an ugly win as they head into their bye week. Jets are a 71.8% favorite. Regardless of which quarterback plays for either team, the Jets will be a heavy favorite thanks to their defense. New York ranks third in defensive efficiency this season, while the Bills have the worst offense in FBI's data set by efficiency since the start of the 2008 season. Yeah, it will be an ugly game. So ugly. I got the Jets winning, but with a very low score. 12-6. 12-6. The Jets over the Bills. I'm so glad we're not getting this game on our affiliate. Let me tell you. One of the rare times I say, God bless your team, Bullock. That's all I can say. I'm glad we're in Patriot country. That's all I can say. So who'd want to watch that? I certainly wouldn't. All right. Moving on to a much more, which has a game that has the potential to be a far more entertaining game. Believe me, it does. We have the Washington Redskins squaring off against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Okay, I got it. All right. This game will be over on Fox. Washington Redskins, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium, Tampa. Fox will have it. Tom Brenneman, Chris Spielman, Shannon Spake on the call, and the Bucs. Tampa Bay opening up as 2.5 to 3-point favorites. Series history between these two, it's tied 10-10. The 10-10 overall series. Their last meeting was 2015 in Washington. Redskins won a wild one, 31-30. Their last meeting in Tampa was 2012. Redskins won that one, 24-22. The Bucs have not beaten the Redskins at home since 2007, a 19-13 final. So yeah, this might be one of the Redskins' hardest games to predict because no one knows how the offensive line will fare with 3 starters missing. What's the impact on Adrian Peterson? The Redskins can run a variety of ways so they can tailor their attack to what the new linemen do well. But the key is simple for Washington. Get ahead early. The Redskins have not trailed in their wins. They have not led in their losses. Tampa ranks 19th in yards a carry allowed, but is 23rd in that area on first down, so that's where Washington must take advantage. The Redskins have this knack for responding when it looks bleak, and it looks bleak. For the past 4 weeks, Bucs players have been calling these games must win, but they're really in crunch time now at 3-5. Their defense hasn't been able to stop anyone, and they've gone 5 games now without generating a single interception, the worst in the league in that department. Alex Smith is certainly not going to just give those out. So this is really on the shoulders of an offense that is averaging 27.75 points a game, and Tampa Bay can't afford another slow start in Week 10. Tampa Bay, a 54.3% favorite. Alex Smith enters this game with a 50.7 total QBR on the season, including a 45.1 since the Redskins' bye, sixth worst in the league in that span. The Buccaneers' defense should be the remedy for that, as it has allowed a league-leading 73.6 total QBR this season, including marks of 70 plus in 6 of 8 games this season. I'm going with the Washington Redskins to win this one. 24-21, Washington over Tampa Bay. Nothing more to say. Bullock, your thoughts on Washington and Tampa Bay? Bullock, you Mike? Oh boy, I think we lost him. Okay. Um. Yeah. So I got the Redskins going over 24-21. Um, you heard my numbers there. So just bear with me for one moment here. Okay. All right, hang on a minute.
Yeah. Well, what game are we talking about here?
Washington and Tampa.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say with the Redskins? I mean, a statement win over the Falcon. I mean, well, 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 for the Redskins, I mean, basically they need a bounce back after that loss to the Falcons, and I think the this Tampa team is definitely something to it. But the thing is, I mean, the Redskins. I mean, defensively, I mean, they're. I mean, they've lost some key players with injuries, but to me, I think they'll be able to overcome it. I mean, especially with the way Alex Smith is running that team. So, especially offensively. So to me, I think the Redskins will bounce back. Will beat Tampa Bay. My final score, I'm gonna go 28-20. So, nothing more to say. Florio, I give it to you.
And keep your mic on, Bullock, because you'll be leading off the next matchup, and it's only fitting because it's your team, the New England Patriots. They're going to be squaring off against the Tennessee Titans at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. New England opening up at 6.5 to 7.5 point favorites. Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn will have the call on CBS. New England leads the all-time series 23-15 with a tie. Their last meeting, of course, the AFC divisional playoff in January. New England won that going away 35-14. Regular season last meeting was 2015, also in New England, and New England won that 33-16. The last meeting in Nashville was opening day, week 1 of 2012. New England going away again, 34-13. The Tennessee Titans have not beaten the New England Patriots at home since 2002, a 24-7 win. And that's also the last time overall they've beaten the Patriots because, including playoffs, the Patriots have won, I believe, 7 consecutive meetings against Tennessee. So, all right, Bullock, one of the games of the week on our side of the ledger, divisional playoff rematch. Your Patriots, after that slow start, oh boy, have they have come on since, like gangbusters since then. They've won 5 in a row. Tennessee coming off of a big win in Dallas last week. So, what gives here?
Yeah, I mean, you said with this rematch of the divisional round, and this Titans team is definitely looking for a little retribution. And yeah, with the Patriots, I mean, after that slow start, I mean, what can you say? They're now 7-2, and the offense continues to play play better, especially since they acquired Josh Gordon, and of course getting Julian Edelman back from his 4 game suspension. So yeah, I mean, of course the Titans, and of course one of the guys they got on there, um, that's doing good is Dion Lewis. He's been doing really well, but not so much so with Malcolm Butler. I mean, having a very rough season at the cornerback position, and right now Belichick's got to look like a genius for letting this guy walk, and so yeah, I expect the Patriots to continue to play well, to continue this role. I'm gonna say my final score is gonna be 34. I'm gonna go 34-21. The Patriots win, continue the momentum, go to 8-2 into the bye week. So nothing more to say. Florio, I give it to you.
The Patriots have 22 touchdowns and 34 red zone trips this season, with their 64.7 TD percentage ranking them 11th in the NFL. And the Titans D has allowed just 7 touchdowns and 22 opponent red zone trips, a 31.8 percentage that ranks the unit as the best in the NFL. So there's a good chance this game will come down to the red zone. And New England offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels, Tom Brady, and company will be at their creative best. The Titans offense showed signs of life Monday night by scoring 28 points, a season high. The Patriots defense is giving up 22.4 points a game, and most of the points against 13.3 are coming when the game is out of reach in the second half. If the Titans can reach the end zone early and keep the game close, they'll have a chance. Brady and the Patriots are scoring an average of 30 points a game, while the Tennessee defense is allowing an NFL best 17.6. Something has to give. But in the end, I do agree with you, Bullock. I got the Patriots, but hold on. New England, according to the FPI, New England is the favorite at 62.4%. The Titans are the number one scoring defense this season, but do not rank in the top 10 in opponent total QBR 11th or defensive efficiency 13th. The Patriots' 7th ranked offense and 5th ranked defense, according to the FPI, make them the favorite on the road. So I agree with you, Bullock. I got New England winning, but I've got it a little bit closer than you think. I'm going to go 28-24 New England over Tennessee, and this should be a good one. I mean, this is one of the 2 big games of the week over on CBS. So on our side of the ledger. So nothing more to say. Let's move on now to the late games. I believe we have only 3. Yes, we do, and we have another cross flex matter here. This one will be over on Fox, as this is a game that you would normally see on CBS. And I'm just looking to make sure if this is a first-time divisional matchup. Oh, actually, they've already met this season. Los Angeles Chargers squaring off against the Oakland Raiders. This one will be at the Oakland Coliseum, the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum in Oakland. Fox is going to have this one. Like I said, this is cross flex. Dick Stockton, Mark Schlereth, and Jennifer Hale on the call. Chargers opening up as sizable favorites here. No big surprise. They're opening up as 9.5 to 10.5 point favorites. They met on October 7th, which on a month ago. They met in LA, and the Chargers had no trouble with the Raiders winning that one 26-10. So looking at the history here. Okay. With that Charger win, it cuts the Raiders series lead to 62-53 with the 2 ties. Chargers have now won 3 in a row against the Raiders, including that 26-10 win in LA this year. Chargers won in Oakland last year, 17-16. But the Raiders beat the Chargers at home in 2016, 34-31. So that being said, let's get into this matchup. Chargers, Raiders. Okay. The Chargers have to guard against complacency, facing their AFC West rivals as double-digit favorites on the road, with the Raiders allowing a league-worst 144.5 rushing yards per game. Expect to see a lot of Melvin Gordon in this one as the Chargers try to secure their 6th straight win. In his past 3 meetings with the Raiders, Chargers quarterback Phillip Rivers has thrown for a combined 994 yards and 6 touchdowns without an interception while completing 83.3% of his passes. Oakland's defense is allowing an NFL worst 6.8 yards a play, and is closer to being an expansion team than a contender. Chargers opening up as 75.4% favorites. They're a heavy favorite on the road, projected to win 75% of the time by FPI. The last time the Chargers were this big of an FPI favorite on the road came in week 6 of 2014, which was also against the Raiders. Chargers in a rout. I got the Chargers winning big, 34-13, all Chargers all the time. So Bullock, they may not be in San Diego anymore, but now they're in LA. You know what they are? They're the LA Superchargers.
Yes, yes, they are, and I expect them to continue to be that. I got them in a rout over the Raiders. I'm gonna go 38-13 is gonna be my final score. So, yeah, nothing more to say. Let's move on to our next slate game.
And it's our 4:25 games on CBS, and this one was actually scheduled to be a 1:00 game, but for some odd reason they decided to move it to the 4:25 window. It's a battle of the Miami Dolphins, MF's Miami Dolphins, squaring off against the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. This one will be on CBS, like I said. Kevin Harlan, Rich Gannon, Steve Tasker will have the call. Packers opening up as sizable favorites as well. They're opening up as 10 to 11-point favorites. Miami, however, leads the all-time series 10-4. Their last meeting was in 2014 in Miami. Packers won 27-24. Last meeting at Lambeau was 2010, and believe it or not, the Miami Dolphins won that one 23-20 in overtime. Packers' last home win over the Dolphins was in 2002. That was a 24-10 final. So Bullock, Miami with a hard-fought win over the Jets, and Green Bay, well, they got steam. Well, they gave your Patriots a bit of a game, but New England was just too much in the end.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? I mean, yeah, tough one there for Green Bay. I mean, yeah, they did give the Patriots some fits, and they were in it, but in the end, the Patriots ran away with it. So, and of course, for the Miami Dolphins, I mean, another big win for them. So, and now they got the task of trying to slow down Aaron Rodgers. So, yeah, I mean, of course, with that offense, of course, with Jimmy Graham and Devontae Adams and Randall Cobb. So, well, the thing is, of course, Aaron Rodgers, of course, he is tough to bring down when he is outside the pocket. So, if they're able to slow him down, Miami might have a chance here. So, but I got to go with Green Bay to win this one. I'm going to go 30-20 is going to be my final score. So nothing more to say. Florio, I give it to you.
It's not often that a team with a winning record is a double-digit underdog against a team with a losing record, but that's the case here, as Miami has done little to prove it can keep up when facing elite quarterbacks. The Dolphins lead the NFL with 15 interceptions, but as their head coach Adam Gase said, Aaron Rodgers is a little different than Sam Darnold. Miami simply doesn't have the offense to keep up with a desperate Green Bay team at home. The Packers should bounce back after consecutive road losses at the Rams and Patriots, but it only means something if they put together a consistent performance. They haven't in ages, and if they're to have any chance the next 2 games at Seattle on a short week Thursday night and then at Minnesota, they have to build momentum Sunday. Green Bay, 82% favorite. Aaron Rodgers enters this game ranked 19th in the NFL in total QBR of 58 and has not even reached a 65 total QBR in a game this season. Since Rodgers took over as the starter in 2008, he has posted at least a 60 total QBR in every season. So, with all that being said, I've got the Green Bay Packers winning this one as well. I'm going to go 23-13, Green Bay over Miami. So, nothing more to say here. Let's just move on. And we move on to another one of our games of the week. This one will be on CBS, and it's another cross flex. this is a game that you normally would see on Fox, but instead CBS is going to have this one. And they had this very game last year as well. The Seattle Seahawks squaring off against the Los Angeles Rams at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles. This game's going to be on CBS, and calling this game, our favorite Bullock. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson. They'll be at the Coliseum. The Rams opening up as the theme, sizable favorites. Rams opening up as 9.5 to 10-point favorites. They met earlier this season in Seattle. The Rams came away with a 33-31 win, so that cuts Seattle's all-time series lead to 23-17. Yeah, with that Ram win in Seattle earlier this season, and of course, Seattle actually won in Los Angeles last year. They stole one in LA last year, 16-10. Rams beat Seattle at home the year before in 2016, a low-scoring 9-3 affair. So let's get into this other big game of the week over on CBS. Hang on a minute. That's right. All right. Yeah, that's right. Bullock led off the last one. All right, it's my turn here. All right. The Seahawks nearly knocked off the Rams in Week 5 by rushing for a season-high 190 yards and winning the turnover battle 2-0. That winning formula will be difficult to replicate in the rematch now that running back Chris Carson is looking iffy with a sore hip and right guard DJ Fluker is dealing with a calf injury. They're arguably the two most important members of a running game that is the best shot at upsetting the Rams. The Rams are coming off their first loss of the season, have a clean bill of health, and will be plenty motivated to shut down the Seahawks after allowing Seattle to run all over them 5 weeks ago. The Rams offense continues to fire on all cylinders behind Todd Gurley, who leads the league in rushing and touchdowns. Rams 76.9% favorites. While the Rams are essentially a lock to make the playoffs according to FPI, a lot hangs in the balance for the Seahawks in Week 10. Seattle would have a 50% chance to make the playoffs with a win and a 24% chance with a loss. Only the NFC East teams facing off on Sunday night will see their playoff chances affected more this weekend. I got the Rams winning. I'm going to say Rams will win. I'm going to go 34-24, the Rams over Seattle in the Coliseum, bouncing back after that tough loss at New Orleans last week. So Bullock, I got the Rams bouncing back and making it 2-for-2 against Seattle this year. Bullock, it's yours. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, with the Rams, like you said, they're definitely looking to bounce back after that tough loss to the Saints, and of course losing for the first time. And yeah, I mean, like you said, last time when these two facing off, I mean, it was in Seattle and it turned out to be a close one. I mean, you got to give the Seahawks credit. I mean, they were in it throughout the game, and I thought they were going to do it, but of course that was in Seattle, and this one, of course, is here in LA. So yeah, I expect the Rams to bounce back, and I expect them to put up over 30 points in this one. I'm going to say Rams will win it by a final of 38-24 is going to be my final score. I mean, I expect Goff to bounce back, and same thing with Todd Gurley, and that of course the receiving corps. So nothing more to say, Florio. Let's just move right along.
We move on to Sunday Night Football on NBC. Intriguing matchup here. Interesting game with some big-time implications in the NFC East. We got the Dallas Cowboys squaring off against the reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Sunday Night Football on NBC. You know who's working this. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and Michelle Tafoya. Philadelphia opening up as a 7.5 to 8.5 point favorite. Dallas, however, leads the all-time series 63-51. They split last year, both teams winning on the road, which meant Dallas won in Philadelphia last year 6-0. in an ugly, ugly, meaningless game, week 17 of last year, New Year's Eve, as you know. Um, so that was Cowboys winning there last year, and Philadelphia their last home win over Dallas was the year before, 2016, a 27-13 final. So Bullock, we got some big time implications in the NFC East. Both these teams looking up at the Redskins.
Yeah, I mean this. Both teams are definitely looking up at the Redskins here, and both of them are fighting to keep keep their spot. Of course, for a run to the. I mean, both of them want to make the playoffs, especially the Eagles as the defending Super Bowl champs. Yeah, and I expect them. I expect the Eagles to win. I think the offense will definitely get on track here. I think they'll make enough big plays to slow down Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, and of course their new receiver Amari Cooper. So I'm gonna go with the I'm gonna go with the Philadelphia Eagles to win this one. Uh, I'm gonna say my final score is gonna be 30-20 is gonna be my final score. Um, yeah, I expect Carson Wentz to have a big game here. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Florio, I give it to you.
The last two times these teams have met in Philadelphia, there was nothing on the line, with the Cowboys in 2016 and the Eagles last year having already clinched home field advantage in the NFC playoffs. But now Dallas's season could very well be on the line. The key will be its offensive line. It must get Ezekiel Elliott going. In 5 of 8 games, Elliott has not reached 80 yards running. He had just 2 games with less than 80 yards rushing in his first 2 seasons. Philadelphia has the second ranked run defense, and the Cowboys will be operating with a different left guard for the first time this season. The bye week did not rid the Eagles of their injury problems. Cornerbacks Sidney Jones and Jalen Mills likely won't play. Running back Darren Sproles re aggravated his hamstring and will remain sidelined. And right tackle Lane Johnson is planning to gut through a grade 2 MCL sprain. What they do have going for them is rest and an extra week's worth of preparation by the coaching staff for a Dallas team that played Monday night. That should be enough to power past the Cowboys, who appear a bit disjointed at the moment. So I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, I forgot about the FPI. Philadelphia, 73.6% favorite, according to the FPI. No game will have a bigger impact on playoff chances this weekend than Cowboys Eagles, according to the FPI. The Eagles could see their chances swing 35 percentage points, 70% with a win, 35% with a loss, and the Cowboys by 28, 34% with a win, 6% with a loss. Those are the two highest potential swings in Week 10. Philadelphia Eagles win. I agree with you, Bullock. I could probably see this being a close game, but I think Philly will get the win. 28-20, Philadelphia over Dallas. So there's really nothing more to say here. And now we move on to, without a doubt, the other major Zonk game of the week. Our final game of the week on this Week 10 edition of NFL Friday. Oh boy, Monday night. Yeah, who's going to want to watch this? I probably won't, but it's the New York Giants squaring off against the San Francisco 49ers at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, the suburb of San Francisco. This game will be over on ESPN, Monday Night Football, with Joe Tessitore, Jason Witten, Booger McFarland, Lisa Salters. 49ers opening up as 3 to 3.5 point favorites. Series history is tied at 16-16. They last met last year in San Francisco, and the 49ers won that 31-21. Giants' last win in San Francisco was in 2012. That was a 26-3 final. So I believe I start this Zonk game off. So the Giants are coming off a bye week, so that should work to their advantage. Coach Pat Shurmur's offense in Minnesota scored 38 points on the road in Washington last season off the bye, gaining over 400 total yards. This is Eli Manning's last stand with the Giants. He had multiple conversations over the weekend with Coach Shermer, who would only declare him the starter for Week 10. Manning could get enough done against the mediocre 49er defense, allowing 248.9 yards a game through the air. However, last week, Niners quarterback Nick Mullins lit up the Raiders in large part because their anemic pass rush allowed him to stand in the pocket and deliver. What can he do for an encore? Well, the Giants aren't much better at getting to quarterbacks, 31st in the NFL in sacks and 25th in pressure percentage, which means Nick Mullins should have time to make enough plays to deliver the Niners their first winning streak of the season and their sixth consecutive home victory on Monday Night Football. San Francisco, 55.9% favorite. The Giants, 11%, and 49ers, 9%, enter Monday night's game with the third and fourth best chances to get the number one overall draft pick, according to FPI. Whichever team wins would see its chances drop to under 5%, while the loser's chances would jump north of 15%. I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers to win 24-20. San Francisco over the Giants. There's nothing more to say. Bullock, who do you got in this zonk of a Monday night game?
Yeah, this is the ultimate definition in zonk here, so I'm not going to waste my time on this one. I'm going to go with the 49ers to win this one. I mean, the Giants, I think we could be seeing the end of an era with Eli Manning. Because I think it's at some point he's going to get benched. No doubt about it. But yeah, I got nothing more to say. So, Florio, let's move on to the power rankings. And I know you'll take it from here.
Yeah, I will take it from here, Bullock, because I know you're going to agree with me like you always do. So there are some changes, no doubt about it, especially at the top because of what happened. There is a new number one. I'm going to tell you all that right now. So before we get okay. All right. So I just wanted to get that disclaimer out there. So started off here. Just looking here. All right. Okay, I think I like this this set here. All right. Not often it's rare I say this, but I have a tie at number 10. And my co-number 10s, Cincinnati Bengals and the Chicago Bears. For the Cincinnati Bengals, the injury to AJ Green could impact their season in a big way. They have a big game this week with New Orleans Saints. And my other number 10 is the Chicago Bears. They are atop the NFC North at the halfway point. Big props to head coach Matt Nagy, who, in my opinion, should be in the running for coach of the year as of right now. Number 9, Houston Texans. 6 straight victories have put them atop the AFC South, looking like a playoff team. They're playing well now. Number 8, Minnesota Vikings. The defense is starting to play like expected. The 10 sacks against the Detroit Lions were impressive. Number 7, Carolina Panthers. They have ripped off 3 consecutive victories to turn their season around. Are they ready to push the Saints in the division? Number 6, Pittsburgh Steelers. After the slow start, they are playing well. The division is theirs to lose. We thought they had a tough one against Carolina last night, but no, that was not as tough as we thought it would be. Pittsburgh will definitely be within the upper echelon again next week. Remember, these rankings are retroactive to the previous week. Number 5, Los Angeles Chargers. They're on a roll right now and have a real chance to push the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC West. And Phillip Rivers continues to play well. Speaking of the Kansas City Chiefs, I have them at number 4. They have to keep winning with the Chargers playing so well. The improved defense will decide how far they go. Number 3, this is where I have the Los Angeles Rams. It was a very exciting, close game, but the Saints just pulled away at the end. LA goes to 3 here. The defense has suddenly become a major issue. It's time for them to tighten up on that side of the ball. Number 2, New England Patriots. Stop me if you've heard this before. It's November, and the Patriots are getting better. Haven't we seen this script before? And our new number 1 of the week, the New Orleans Saints, they earned this spot by beating 3 good teams in successive weeks, including the LA Rams last week. And as much as I love the Rams and as much as I think they're the most complete team, right now I think the New Orleans Saints are now the team to beat in the NFC. So So that's all I can say on that. New Orleans Saints, new number one on the week. So that's it. Week 10 of NFL Friday is in the books. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. Michael Bullock, right on cue. Come on in with your shout outs, and then I'm going to set up a very busy week of content next week.
All right. We thank you all so very much for tuning in for another edition of NFL Friday. And of course, definitely shout out to all of our tremendous fans out there who continue to support all of our shows. We thank you so much for the love as always. Of course, to all of our super fans out there, you guys know who you are. To all of our friends from our high school days, you guys know who you are. All of our personalities from 6, 10, and 12. And of course, all the personalities from ESPN, Fox Sports, MLB Network, NFL Network, NHL Network, NBA TV, and all the other networks out there. Of course, our friends from the Road Show. Of course, former co-host Mary Larson, Megan Mooney, and of course, the 3 current people on there who do a great job, Will, Brendan, and Michaela. So, yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for me. So until Monday night for Ridiculously Raw, this is Mike Bullock saying thank you all so very much for tuning in. Of course, you know the routine. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it a Fortune 4 style. Bye for now. And of course, enjoy your weekend, everybody. Enjoy all the college football action later today. And, of course, the NFL action on Sunday. So, Florio, take us home.
Yeah, we'll do, Bullock. Special shout out to all of our tremendous fans and viewers out there who continue to make our shows as over as they are. We appreciate it as always. Of course, a special shout out to Dee Dee Whitson, Kevin Whitson and the Whitson family, Matt Ward, Jason Hicksonbaugh, Daniel Luttrell from the UK, our first ladies, Kaiser Butler, Megan Silva, and Lexi Calloway, the crew members, Tommy Souza, Eric Carrier, Jimmy Alden, Al Bredesen, and Rob Parsons, and of course, good old MF Michael Fletcher, who's going to be with us tonight, I'm guessing because of work commitments beyond his control, and of course, Derek Ferrero, who makes it all possible. All of our personalities from 6, 10, and 12. Of course, our friends over at ESPN, FS1, NFL Network, NHL Network, NBA TV, MLB Network, and Lindsay McCormick, Stata Sorrell, our friends from the Road Show, Will Gilbert, Brandon Kirby, and Michaela Johnson, former co-host Megan Mooney and Mary Larson. And last but not least, my wonderful friends and church family over at Oasis of Grace Ministries on 464 Silver Spring Street in Providence. If you need a church home, check them out. Exit 25 off Route 95. Sunday morning at 9, Bible study. A little after 10, Sunday morning service. And Wednesday night at 7, Bible study. Other things going on. And look forward to seeing them on Sunday for another great service as always. And that's it. So we got a busy week next week. Of course, we're going to have upcoming week. It's Survivor Series week. And now, this is as of now. I don't know if this is really true or not. I'm going to have to check in with Derek Ferreira and see if this is indeed the case. But this is just how I think it's going to play out. Monday, of course, Ridiculously Raw. We know we know that's the case. We'll review the Go Home Monday Night Raw. It's the Go Home show for Survivor Series. We'll see what happens with that. Stephanie McMahon's going to be there. Brock Lesnar's going to be there. Alexa Bliss is going to announce the Raw Women's Survivor Series teams. So we'll see how that all plays out Monday night, as well as my Tony's take on my latest Tony's take on 205 Live and Impact Wrestling. Tuesday night, Cerebral Smack Talk with MF over on Brace Fan 95. We'll review the Go Home to Survivor Series edition of SmackDown Live. And, of course, MF will have a big Mikey's Mindset as he will review Ultima Lucha Cuatro as part of Lucha Underground. Unbelievable. Can't wait to hear what he has to say about it. I saw it. It was amazing. Can't wait to hear what MF has to say about it. Now, this is a projection now. I don't know if this is true or not. I got to check in with Derek, but I'm guessing because we got a Survivor Series show, I'm guessing we're going to be moving the college football show to Wednesday and the NFL show to Thursday. And then Friday, I'm sure we're probably going to preview both NXT TakeOver War Games and the Survivor Series. That's just my projection. I'll let these guys know as soon as I hear from Derek about it. And then from there, of course, Sunday, Survivor Series Sunday, the recap of Survivor Series with MF on Brace Fan 95. a very big week, Survivor Series week. Very exciting to say the very least as we're drawing closer to my favorite event of the year, Survivor Series. And based on the card, I think it's going to be one of the best. Really looking forward to this show without a doubt. So that's it. So until Monday night for Ridiculously Raw, it's Anthony Floyo here for Michael Bullock. And in spirit, good old MF, Michael Fletcher, Dee Woodson, Derek Ferrer. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up 14-4 style. Right, for now, my friends, God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed weekend. Enjoy all the college action later today and the NFL action on Sunday. And until Monday night for Ridiculously Raw, you've been watching Week 10 of Strictly Sports NFL Friday right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Floyo, so long. Bye, everybody. Bye.